It is time to talk about whether will Synthetix moon. Welcome to Brief Briefing. Don't forget to give a like, a subscribe. Go ahead and get the latest updates. Hit the bell icon. Synthetix is sitting at around $15 a coin. Now you might be asking, why is this important? It only moved 30%. Everything is mooning right now. As you can see, Synthetix has been out for a while now, since 2018. As you can see here, it's volatile as any other asset. It could collapse back to $4. Who knows? I am not a financial advisor. Don't buy anything based on what I say. I am purely sharing the information that I have with you. I bought way back when it was worth 60 cents. Not even on this chart. Now it is looking good. Why is Synthetix up so much? You're thinking, what could possibly be happening? A lot of development. A lot has been happening. Now it could crash at any time, but the technology is solid. Synthetix 2020, a decade in review, December 2020. It's hard to believe it's only been 365 days since January 1st, 2020. So much has happened, not just within the Synthetix, but across all DeFi. It will be hard to cover it all in a single post, but I'll try to pick out the highlights. I'll be taking a slightly different approach to this recap. Rather than simply listing what we did, I will be identifying all the things that didn't yet exist at the end of 2019. So let's go all the way back to midnight, December 31st, 2019, to review the state of the project at the time. Honestly, it's kind of shocking when you realize just how little was built at the time. Firstly, we were still in semi-benevolent dictator mode, and the Synthetix Foundation still existed. There were also less than 10 people working on the project, something many people are not aware of. Even today, we had come through the bare winter of 2018, 2019 by scaling back our burn rate to only what was critical for processing the project. Since we had no way to know how long it might be before the market thawed and the bears died. R.I.P. Bears. We were only up to SIP 34 at the end of 2019. A year later, we just hit SIP 103. We had also only made 9 variable changes via SCCP today, and it is 67. We were still operating a centralized oracle. Only FX rates and commodities had been transitioned to Chainlink at this time. Shocking, I know. We were still fixated on L1 and had yet to demo any of the magic of optimistic Ethereum. The Grants DAO was just a glimmer in Garth's eye, and the Spartan Council was just a glimmer in Andy's. In fact, Andy was just a glimmer in the Synthetix DAO eye, glimmer all the way down. Quenta was an as yet unnamed UX upgrade to Synthetix.exchange that I was vehemently against. Quite the considerance that it launched almost as soon as the dictator was dethroned. Coincide, my apologies. Fee reclamation was yet to even launch. For those interested, I will be publishing another post in a few days with a detailed recapitulation of the entire history of fee reclamation, front running of Synthetix protocol. Virtual synths were not yet conceived, let alone deployed, mainly because we had yet to break composability with fee reclamation, a pretty big missed opportunity there. For those that do not know, synths are synthetic assets in the synthetic network, like the Footsie or the Nikai. The SNX token was trading a few $1,000,000 a day across both DEX and CEX, and liquidity was extremely thin. Plus, liquidations were not even live yet. Talk about living on the edge. Am I right, Theo? We now have tens of millions of dollars in volume across all trading venues, and SNX is one of the most liquid ERC20 tokens in DeFi. Not many people realize this, but you used to be able to delay for up to 6 weeks before claiming. As we crossed into 2020, this had been reduced to 2 weeks, but we had not yet implemented the change to reduce claims to 1 week. While we had launched liquidity incentives in July of 2009, this is basically a recap of everything that Synthetix does. Remember the Depot? Pepperidge Farms remembers. Synthetix, new SEUR incentives on Curve. We have synthetic euros. We are pleased to announce that in light of Curve Finance recently launching an SEUR liquidity pool, Synthetix is running an incentive to provide SEUR liquidity. Basically, you buy some synthetic euros, you lend it out to the Curve Finance, and you receive Curve rewards plus synthetic rewards. Let me know if you want me to do a demo on Curve. Although the price just gets destroyed by yearn farming. Synthetix 2021. It feels more like the title for an 80s sci-fi movie than a roadmap post. I guess it's kind of is. Imagine a future where everyone in the world is connected to one another by handheld devices that allow them to hold, trade, transfer every imaginable asset. This week's science fiction becomes reality. The launch of optimistic Ethereum will finally enable Synthetix to fulfill its mission of reinventing how people exchange values. They're going to change the way we exchange value. Before detailing everything planned this year, I should address a question a few people are probably asking right now. Who the F are you to tell me what the roadmap of Synthetix is in 2021? Well, that is a great question. The simple answer is that historically it has been my role, and while I no longer have authority to dictate that happens, No one has told me not to do it this year, so I figure, why not? So Synthetix is decentralized, and here we have their roadmaps. Synthetix version 3. This represents a complete re-architecture of synthetic contracts, the first time since late 2018, and provides an opportunity to rethink what is possible. Synthetix uses an upgradable proxy pattern to enable upgrades that do not require token holders to migrate. That is interesting. Optimism has been testing for some time now, and it is due. Here we can see we have the optimistic roadmap. We're in 2021. So they plan to single sequence mainnet, decentralized sequencer, Meva powered ecosystem launch. I thought I would demonstrate the speed at which optimism, how fast it can process a transaction. Here I need to stabilize my collateralization ratio. Right here we're looking at the Synthetix testnet. I'm over collateralized by 22%, so I'm gonna go ahead and mint some synthetic dollars. Go ahead and make sure everything is ready to get this transaction going. And we're good to go. Let's go ahead and do this. Now the load time has no bearing on the transaction. I've noticed that the cost of gas on Optimism is far less than the cost on the mainnet. Right now, if I want to do a swap, if I want to mint or anything, it's going to cost me around $30. Seems to be having some difficulty. Oh, we finally got it. Seems the pop-up isn't working. It is a test net. There's bound to be some glitches. Though what I found interesting is that I can mint the weekly supply of Synthetix if I would like to. Now I have all these signatures I have to do. 3 of them. It's probably gonna congest everything. I'll go ahead and approve the transaction. And here we go. Go ahead and approve it again, apparently. We're getting a glitch. That is why they need to test it with us. We test out the network, make sure that when this comes out on the mainnet, people are not having to put up with this kind of stuff. The UI is easy to use and keeps people happy. So this is taking longer than what I thought. So I will go ahead, try to speed this up. I'm gonna go ahead and open the Chrome extension since I seem to be getting some problems from the testnet. It's taking a little longer than what I thought. All right, so I've minted $44 with 70 cents. So theoretically, I have stabilized my collateralization ratio. Gonna go ahead and approve this. It seems like a bunch of transactions just piled up on themselves. I really wanted to show you that there are 0 fees. Basically, you can see here that there are 0 fees. You hit max. And what's the fee? Nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and approve this. As you can see, optimism has been in the works for a while. You can also view the transaction. Here is the L2 Explorer. Now, so far, Synthetix has seen quite a rise. It has gone from a few cents to dollars. Where will it continue in its trajectory? Go ahead and comment below. Where do you think Synthetix will be? Do you think optimism rollup